I just don't like a lot of ZvZ. I think that's usually my issue with the matchup, that we get to like the later stages of like a go for SC2 or something, and we end up casting like so many ZvZs in a row. We're like, one ZvZ, and there's like ZvZ semifinals, and it's, you know, it's just so many like ZvZs in a row. It's annoying, like. But I don't mind a ZvZ here and a ZvZ there. I wouldn't mind casting a few ZvZs in a row if it just wasn't every single week in go for SC2. Oh man. Keep calling me, who the hell is Duddles? Oh my god. Should we get a t-shirt? We should actually get to who the hell is Duddles. This is like, I don't understand how you literally made yourself such an amazing meme within like 2 weeks. It's literally incredible. Bottom left side, guys, it is Zanster, our blue Zerg player. He's going to be going up against Team Liquid's TLO to the top right-hand side of the map. So setting up into this, we'll look to see what happens here over the next few minutes of the game. Again, guys, I was saying this the other day, but we are thinking about doing another t-shirt campaign in general. So with our past t-shirt campaign, we sold the WardiTV logo t-shirts. This time I want to be a bit more interesting. I'm not sure just yet what we're going to make, but I think we'll get like a custom design made. So if you've got any cool ideas of sort of designs we could go for and stuff like that, or like rough ideas, we'll get someone to like design it properly and probably pay them to do it. Then let me know, because I want to make it interesting and good enough so that you guys probably look at it and be like, yeah, I'd buy that. And hopefully we can sell enough to just make the money back on however much we spend getting it designed, you know? Which again, I mean, we just need to sell like 10 to 15, I think, would be okay-ish. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think, and if you got any good ideas for design, would be happy to hear it as we do set up into this ZvZ. Then TLO is going for the free hatcheries at the moment, so open up with the triple hatch. I mean, Zanster as well going triple hatch, just a little bit slower. In fact, both of them playing gasless. Wow, that's kind of crazy. The fact that both of them opt to open in basically the exact same way so far is very crazy, actually. Pretty insane. It's actually really weird. Anyways, so moving on through Overlords, we'll just begin to scout. We'll see the third hatcheries and just give each other good ideas to how fast each other have gone into the free hatches, which of course means that then they can kind of take the opportunity to kind of change things up and to maneuver around in a bit of a different manner as well. So Lings here from TLO will grab one Ling kill right away. Zanster just going to try and dodge around and just try to use the Zerglin to get up here to maybe find out some more information, I guess. He's going to distract these Lings of TLO anyways while he gets a couple more of his own out. So far, so good. Both players playing very similarly. I mean, it's differences because TLO got his own third hatchery a bit sooner, but really not too much overall. I mean, both the queens are coming out still. That's going to be the third and fourth queen for both players at the same time. And the drawn count is just slightly favourable to TLO because he still hasn't taken gas TLO. He's only just, well, very recently taken the double gas, compared to Zanster, who's been mining gas for about 100 gas for now. So that's just where the different, you know, the kind of excess money for TLO to get a couple more drones has come from. Now TLO's going to save up money. He's not going to spend it on more drones. He's instead going to start his Evo and Roach Warren. And you can see Zanster, though, is kind of doing the same thing. He's going to go straight to a lair. He's not going to go... Well, I say doing the same thing. I mean, he's going to go straight for a lair. He's not going to go for Ling speed. So we're just going to be seeing the few Lings then of TLO and Zanster just skirmishing here. And yeah, fast lair, but Eva Chamber as well. And Zanster, I feel more than anything else, is just heading into the same sort of setup. Probably a +1, probably just Roach speed. I think that'll be the difference. TLO doesn't really have the money to afford Roach speed just yet, or a lair just yet. So he'll just go into it a bit later. I mean, he didn't have it before, he has it now. But he didn't have it before, which means he was just going to have a later Roach speed, which is okay. A later Roach speed is not the end of the world, it just limits you into, you know, in terms of how aggressive you can be. So it just limits you in terms of how aggressive you can be. As we do see these few Lings coming down to the bottom side of the map, going to try and latch onto this queen. And just nibble its way through it over the next few moments. Should make an SHI Gold t-shirt. A bling bling t-shirt. I don't know how good that would actually look on a t-shirt though. I don't know. It's tough to think of like a cool design or something. I mean, obviously I guess that's what the design is meant to do, but like, I don't know, it's difficult to think about. It's difficult to figure out. Anyways, Lair is on the way down. TLO just going to be, again, finishing that up, starting his Roach speed. And again, for the most part, it's pretty similar situations in the game. The way Zanster's playing sets him up very nicely if he wants to go aggressively on the +1 attack. The way TLO's playing kind of limits his options on +1, but does give him kind of a nice way to just move into +2 nice and quickly, and just sort of go from there, or just straight up play defensively. Players, well, at least TLO is working his way through these rocks, and I imagine Zanster will not be too far behind him, because so far these players have been matching each other kind of, you know, click for click, I suppose. I didn't know what to say for StarCraft 2. How do you match each other in StarCraft 2? Well, click for click, I suppose, is a pretty good way to say it. So I'm actually surprised that Zanster takes this left-hand side base then, because it really feels as though TLO wants to take the forward base, which is beneficial because you need less drones to get the same amount of minerals as what Zanster will need to get, you know, to kind of saturate this left base, just because it's gold minerals. So obviously it mines out faster as well, though. I guess the thing is, if TLO can hold this base now, it means that he doesn't have to hold it later in the game, which can be a bit difficult. I mean, it can be difficult to hold it now, and that is the threat of taking the gold base. It's more easily pushed into than this far away set back base, which is oftentimes taken as a fourth and is being taken by a fourth by Zanster just over on the other side of the map. Roaches, Ravagers, going to push through, going to see a few corrosive bars, and oh, it doesn't quite manage to pick off this Overlord here. As again, just going to see Zanster and TLO looking to see what they can get up to, perhaps in the next couple of moments. Queen just going to inject onto the hatchery, and again, just going to be seeing the again, Ravagers just continuing to morph fun in. Swarmhost on the way up from TLO, a little bit of a different way to play out in the ZvZ. Not really seen Swarmhost in a long time. Intrigued to see what that leads us into. The Changeling TLO is blocking it for now. Doesn't A-click it down just yet. Meanwhile, Zanster pushing forwards. The supplies are pretty even, though. Upgrades are even right now as well. Zanster eventually will take an upgrade lead with the +1 Carapace, but right now, neither player really wants to engage massively, I don't think, because they both have very similar numbers of units, so they need them really taking advantage from engaging. Look at this, though. The Swarmhost has somehow just run right... How did they just run through the middle of the map? How did they just run through the middle of the map? That makes absolutely no sense. They just run through the middle, and now we're going to see a bit of a fight over here. Obviously, TLO's army is going to be a bit smaller because he doesn't have the Swarmhost here to help him fight. Corrosive Vials from TLO are landing very nicely. Lovely pullback on the Ravagers here, pulling them around the kind of loop to keep them away from damage. Locust in the main didn't really do much at all, as TLO's still fighting here. His Ravagers being kept alive very well, and Zanster is just messing this fight up, I think, although he's still sort of coming out ahead just because he had such an advantage going into it. But again, like, TLO keeping his Ravagers alive, very nice indeed. And the fact that he was able to also just get a few Corrosive Vials landed on his opponent's army helped out massively too. These Roaches will just keep on disappearing. Goodbye. Swarmhosts as well, just continuing to block and to keep those Roaches away. And you're just going to be seeing the, well, army continue to push forward some TLO. What will he do with the Locust? He drops a couple of them here, just to slowly pick away at Roaches, I guess. He's going to send the rest into the main. I mean, he didn't really feel as though he did too much with these last time. I guess he was very occupied with the rest of his army. Wasn't really paying attention to the Locust, so here we go. This time he's going to move a bit further forwards with them and do a little bit better. And just kind of target down a few more drones. Still not too many, though. I mean, I guess it's not that many Locusts here. There's only 4 Swarmers with Corrosive Vials. His own Overseer that starts to pull back. And TLO's making this work. Do we say it? Should we say it? Yes, let's say it. Creativity! TLO will never just play a normal game. Just plays the creative way. And, yeah, the Swarmers definitely do kind of suggest creativity compared to just playing normally. +1 Carapace advantage right now for Zanster. The Locusts, though, are getting ready to go once again. TLO just needs to spawn the rest of them. He's been in an advantage after that last large fight, though, and so he's just going to be able to move forward. There's an Overseer here, Zanster, so you can't just burrow to get away from this. And that, my friends, is going to be these Roaches backed into a corner, outnumbered and killed. GG, well played, says Zanster. TLO picks up what I would call a clean, simple victory. Just in the sense that it was clean, it was simple. Love it, guys. Let's go in game. And we do have, down to the bottom right-hand side, down 1 game in this best-of-3 series. Our blue Zerg player, give it up for Zanster, who is, again, down 1 game. Top left, it is going to be our red Zerg from Team Liquid, the one, the only, TLO. I'm sorry, guys, but as good as the Duttles meme is, I don't think it's a big enough meme right now to realistically sell t-shirts off. Maybe someday, though. Maybe someday. Someday in the future. Where people appreciate real memes. Nah. Alright, early opening here, obviously you can see it from TLO, is the gas pool before Overlord. So he's going to be very aggressive, already 6 Zerglings, starting to build against a hatch gas pool of Zanster. So already TLO with the slight build order advantage in the very early stages. As, Ling's going to move out here, they're going to start moving forwards and, yeah, just moving out onto the map basically. So Ling's moving out onto the map, seeing what they can get up to. And a Baneland Nest dropping down as well. Super aggressive play from TLO. Now Zanster sees this for the first time with this Overlord. So now he knows that this attack is coming and he can begin to prepare. Of course, so far he just has to wait for the spawning pool to finish. But as it finishes, 2 Queens will start to produce probably a Spine Crawler of his own. Maybe even an instantaneous Baneland Nest just so that he has a Bane Nest to kind of fight with. There's a Queen, 4 Lings. No Spine. He's going to pull out a gas completely. I'd like to see the Bane Nest, I think. Because the Bane Nest is the better way to kind of fight this. You can see TLO actually never went for Ling Speed himself. He went for that Bane Nest. We sort of talked about that. I didn't actually realize he skipped his own Ling Speed. So these Banes coming in are going to be pretty huge. Because there's not really going to be an answer to them from Zanster just yet. Here comes the first Baneling moving forwards, looking to see what it can connect onto. Looking for that effective connection to make the most of it. That wasn't really quite it. Hits again and he will get another drone low. This hatchery is the target of TLO right now, though. He's done good damage. If he can finish off with killing the hatch, that would be perfect. He's going to get before the Queen. Queen does come out, which is nice for Zanster, but doesn't really save him in a lot of ways. And I'm just going to be seeing Lings pulling back through the top side of the map. Oh my god. At this point in the game, I shouldn't talk about chat, so I'm not going to, but chat is making me laugh way too much today. Again, chat's been making me laugh all week. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Ling Speed on the way up from Zanster. Sets that up, gets that ready to roll. Creep Team are going to push on forwards. A lot of Lings from Zanster. He is about to hit Ling Speed. I mean, he's making a couple more drones. His hatch on the way back up. TLO just takes the advantage simply because his hatch is finished, so he gets an extra round of lava faster. With that extra round of lava, he can just make a few more drones, so while it's not an advantage just yet from TLO, it will be very shortly. He is slow on the Ling Speed, but he's also already got a Bane Nest, which means that is something else Zanster still has to invest into as well, if he wants to play Ling Bane. I mean, he might not play Ling Bane, but if he wants to, and kind of, then it is again just another advantage TLO already has at this point of the game. And that's a nice Baneling from TLO to clean up a good chunk of Zerglings from Zanster. So that's not really what Zanster wanted right there. Was maybe looking to pressure forwards, get some scouting, get some information, maybe get a drone or two if he's lucky. But right now, it's not going brilliantly. I was just going to see those Lings running around the back, and yeah, this isn't great. As TLO making more Lings of his own, about to hit Ling Speed. Looks as though he wants to apply pressure and wants to get something done. This third hatchery, I think, instantly from Zanster is just not going to come up. I mean, the few Lings that Zanster does have are currently across the map getting chased down very swiftly. So TLO, well, the third hatchery should go down, I think, is the first thing that we're going to notice here. Well, maybe Zanster can buy enough time. Like, right now, the Lings aren't going to do any damage at all. Queen on the way over, but the Queen's very exposed on its own as well, and something that TLO can probably just come forwards and surround. The Queen in the back is not really going to be able to do enough, I don't think. Yeah, first Queen down, now second Queen fallen. This is disastrous for Zanster, because there's just so many more Lings and Banes for TLO coming across, and does Zanster still have Queens? He doesn't, so now he's going to miss inject, so he's never going to keep up with the production of TLO. No way. Oh man, this is brutal. TLO actually uses the Bane over here. I don't know if he was trying to kill lava. I don't think there was any lava to kill. It might have just been a bit of a misclick. Ling going to go after the Bane as well. I mean, it's a hectic few moments as Zanster tries to defend. 2 Banes with 2 Banes. Another Bane goes off, but not very efficiently. Not efficiently enough to make up for the deficit that is Zanster's situation right now. Is now more Banes from TLO. Continue to connect, continue to clean up drones. And he just gets into a better position again. The Queens were killed off, which means that Zanster was had a while here where he wasn't just straight up wasn't able to produce as much as TLO. And that's really what we're starting to see a little bit right now. I mean, TLO is also droning in the background of this, so while he kills 10 workers, he takes a 15 worker lead overall and continues to just set himself up nicely. Roach is building on the natural expansion right now, and we're going to be seeing the third hatch is just coming up over here as well. So third hatch on the way, feelings to the far right side, and a couple of links from Zanster coming up the top side too. So looking to see what he can get up to here in the near future. We see that lair coming down from Zanster in the main base. So he's setting up into this again at the far left side. Love a little bit of a ling run by, and I mean TLO's just playing it out correctly. He's playing it the safe way, which isn't the quick way to end this game, but it's the way he's going to make sure he doesn't lose. Just going in towards a Roach Roaring, Roach production, and instead of just trying to hope that he continues to get... Whoa, that was so sick! That must have been intentional. No way, did you see that?